trees for 3 years, and she's also excited very much about nutrition. She's a self-taught nutritionist, and she loves gardening, and I think you're going to find her talk very, very interesting. So, Daryl.
Hi, welcome. Hello. Now, can everybody hear me without me using this? Is this better?
That's better.
Okay, all right, well, we'll do that then. My husband and I have been growing Moringa for 3 years. And we got excited about it because of ECHO, which is the abbreviations for Educational Concerns for Hunger Organization. They are in Fort Myers, and I totally recommend all of you going and taking a tour up there. They have a global farm, and they are teaching sustainability, which is another reason that I am so passionate about Moringa, because I think we all really need to learn about something that is as simple as growing this tree in order to keep ourselves healthy. There is more nutrition in the leaves of these trees than almost any other plant. This is my cheat sheet right here. There's 4 times the calcium than milk, and we're going gram for gram, and I have found this in studies in the internet, many, many different places. And I encourage you to go on the internet and look up Moringa and go to YouTube. There's wonderful videos. So 3 times the iron, 3 times the potassium than bananas, 4 times more vitamin A than carrots, 7 times the vitamin C as oranges. And the powerhouse part is that it is a complete protein. It's all the essential amino acids, which is very unusual for a plant form. We're used to getting all of our protein sources in America from animal forms. And it is very easy for our body to assimilate all of these proteins and nutrients. And one of the reasons my husband and I, personally took this very strong interest after we went to ECHO and learned about Moringa is because we have a grandson who had been born, he was about 1.5 years, and he spent 6 months so ill, and he was under antibiotic therapies, like one after the other after the other. And of course that weakens your immune system. So we were thrilled to find a natural source that could increase his immune system and help him naturally. This is something I believe we are all going to have to work on, taking care of ourselves nutritionally, because what has been happening to our food is not happy. The nutrients that were in the soil when my grandmother was growing vegetables is completely different from the nutrients that are available in the soil now. Just for instance, I know that they have advertised quite well that there is no selenium left. That's just one mineral. Well, who knows how that affects our bodies, that we're eating food all the time that is not quite up to par. The problem is also that Americans are all becoming quite obese as a public, as a culture. We eat more food because our bodies are telling us that we're hungry. Well, our bodies are hungry. They're hungry for nutrients, though. And the more nutrition that you can get in your life, the less food you are going to have to consume, and you can maintain yourself with a lot more vitality. I personally, that's probably the most important thing about Moringa to me, is energy levels. It's jam-packed with antioxidants, and that is another really important thing about it. So, are there any people here who already have a moringa tree? Yay, look at all of you. Well, I'm really happy to know that, and we'll be doing some question and answers a little bit later, but I'll just get through this beginning part for the rest of people who may not know anything about moringa. This may be the first time. This slide that I have up here is the pods of a very mature, healthy tree. And you can see the leaves are like a forest. This is the seeds. This is where it begins. And every part of this tree can be used. The seeds have another magical property. In India, where the tree originated, the people prize eating the seeds and the immature seed pods. I would call the seed pods that we saw in the first slide mature seed pods. The immature ones that they eat are probably more like string beans. The browner they get, the more ready they're going to be to pop open, and then you get your seed and you can make another tree, or you can eat the seed. Or this is what they do with Echo, and when they go into the third world countries, they teach them to purify water with this seed, this magic seed. You would expel the oil first, because the oil is very valuable. It's very good for your skin. And the seed casings, they would throw into the wells at these people in Africa who have bad water in their wells. And because this seed has such a strong positive charge, it attracts to it all the negative charges of the pollutions in the wells. And once it is, then you can scoop that out and filter the water, and it's pure water, drinkable, healthy. So the moringa tree starts from our seeds, and this is my husband, Gene. He is so proud of the tree farm that we have just started. These trees that he's standing with were just planted in August. Now they started like this. We germinate the seeds, and in the little brochure I've given instructions on how to germinate the seeds and start the plant. And after it gets a couple months in a 3-gallon pot, you can transfer it into the ground. Anytime you see roots coming out the bottom, then it's time to put it in a bigger pot. These trees we're going to harvest next week. Let's see. I wanted to point out about harvesting. The moringa tree, if left to itself, will become 35 feet tall and skinny, and you won't be able to harvest the leaves, which is what you want for the nutrition. So when we harvest, we'll chop it right there. And then we will also go around the sides. Can you see this? Mm-hmm. It might be all green and harder to differentiate with this particular slide. But after you top it, that forces the energy to go back down into the tree and make all of the branches and each lobe of each leaf itself to make them larger. So we would chop all like this, going around the tree. Just chopping the very end. So maybe also pointing this out. Like, take this at the end, either here or here, leaving this to get larger, stronger, and more healthy. This time of year, if you're starting a tree, you're not going to get quite as dramatic growth as we did. The cycle for the trees are similar, even in sort of like up north, things go dormant. So the cycle was perfect, planting in the summer, having all that nice rain that we get, and getting ready to harvest in the fall. There's no reason you can't plant the trees this time of year. It's just that it's not going to make quite as dramatic a growth rate going into the winter time. So our personal way of using Moringa, this is our leaf harvest, and we've dried the leaves. The leaves don't want to be dried in the sun. You want to dry them indoors. And this, we make tea with it. We make smoothies with it. To make the smoothies and to get a really concentration of the Moringa nutrients, you could take maybe twice this would make this much powder. And you can do that with your stronger blenders like the Vitamix and Cuisinarts. You just put it in dry, turn it on, and you get some powder. It also is nice in capsule form for people who want to be able to take it with them. I take a smoothie with me to work every day, and that really helps. My energy level around 4 o'clock, you get that drag. Some people go and consume a lot of coffee, but this is another way you can have a Moringa smoothie, and that will bring your energy level right up. The smoothies also can be made for children. It's a wonderful way to get children to have vegetables and to know that they're getting some basic nutrition that they need. Picky eaters, it's a little hard, but boy, they like the smoothies with the fruit and the juice and some yogurt. We put the smoothies into the popsicle makers, and my grandkids just love it. They ask for it. They can be made with other greens added as well. Let's see how we went. Here I am harvesting down the row. It might be a little easier to see what I was talking about, where to cut at the ends. And that one had probably already been topped. This is a fabulous slide to show you the place that we cut had absolutely no leaves. We cut the whole top. You can cut this like this. This piece can be stuck in another pot. It takes a lot longer to grow the roots that way as opposed to just germinating a seed and getting things going quickly. But if you're wanting to do multiple things, this is a multiple way. And this slide I wanted to show you how all of that good branching out is happening surrounding the tip that we cut it off. And you see the stalk itself gets fatter and healthier. These are the pretty flowers. I know that some parts of the world, they like to take the flowers and make a tea. I've eaten the flowers in a salad. It's a little bit like eating your nasturtiums or something. Tastes like a flower. But I think they're very pretty. I think they look a lot like little baby orchids. This is just to show you one of our trees that is 3 years old. That's how big the trunk is. This is what the roots look like. This root is known in parts of the world as the horseradish tree, because if you tasted a piece of the root, it tastes like horseradish. And in India, there's a certain type of medicine that they do where they use small amounts of that, but it is also in big amounts a little toxic. So I don't recommend eating the roots. I recommend eating the leaves. That's where you get your nutrition. It's an interesting form. And also to show you about how regenerative this tree is, I have taken a root like that on a tree that had gotten damaged on the top by some cold weather. So I just pulled the root up, and I decided to make some gardens to bring here for the weekend, because last year when I was here, there were people who said, well, I can't grow moringa, I live in a condo, or I live in a community where I can have something in a pot, but I can't have anything that I put in the ground. So I took some of the roots and I put them in one big tree pot, and you've got yourself 4 little trees coming out of one little pot, and you can do quite a bit for your family with that. That's just another way. So there I am with some harvest. At this particular farm, we have 2 different locations, and at this particular farm there's that wonderful pond. I really think Moringa likes being somewhere near a water source. It seems to do well, but it would take a good-sized harvest to really feed your family. So 1 moringa tree is good, but multiple moringa trees, if you have the space for it, why not? They don't take up a lot of room. You want to keep topping them off so they're